See if I can get Gardevoir VMAX to work. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today I'm going to try and get Gardevoir VMAX going. It's probably one of the more popular VMAX cards from Champions Path. I know collectors are really big on Gardevoir. It's kind of like it's like a second tier collecting Pokemon. Like obviously Charizard's at the top and everyone wants that, but Gardevoir is certainly very popular, and Pokemon has put together a pretty decent card. I mean, Gardevoir VMAX is pretty solid. Unfortunately, at the moment, it doesn't have a huge amount of support, so putting this deck together was quite difficult. The list is down in the description if you want to copy that one into PTCGO and play along with us. If you would like to do that, we'd be more than happy to share. Obviously, also like the video as well whilst you're down there, and subscribe. Let's jump across to PTCGO and try and figure out how this thing's supposed to work. So I'll say right now, this is not my first draft of this deck. I have worked on it all day trying to get a list that is workable, that can get our Gardevoir GX, oh not Gardevoir GX, Gardevoir VMAX attacking. Gardevoir GX was really good, Gardevoir and Sylveon was really good, Gardevoir VMAX. Controversially, I actually think this is a good card. I just think that at the moment, there's not enough support to help it along the way. So we'll talk through it in just a second. A 320 HP Psychic type VMAX, pretty solid. It's weak to Metal, which is not super good. Obviously, Zacian and Zamazenta, big threats in the metagame at the moment, so look out for them. Max Cure is the only attack on this Pokemon. 2 Psychic and a Colorless, deals 180 damage and then heals 50 from this Pokemon. So, on face value, that's actually pretty solid. We can knock out pretty much every support Pokemon in the game in one shot, and we can heal ourselves. Unfortunately, Gardevoir at the moment doesn't have a huge amount of support going with it. It does have a couple of Psychic support kind of cards in the set, like Suspicious Food Tin. This tin can here is obviously designed to go with Gardevoir, but at the moment, that's pretty much it. There's no way to accelerate energy consistently. We really would have liked to have seen something like Malamar. If we could have played this deck with Malamar, that would have been great. But we've got a 3-3 Gardevoir line. The way we're going to try and power up that energy cost is by using Energy Assist Rotom. I might have seen this one floating around in a couple of Psychic Mewtwo lists that have recently been doing quite well. Energy Assist for a Psychic Energy. We can jump into our discard pile, grab 2 energies from our discard pile and attach them to our bench Pokemon in any way we like. So if on the first turn, we're going to try and go second all the time. On our first turn, if we can get 2 Psychic Energies into the bin, attach 1 to Rotom, accelerate 2 to a Gardevoir, we should be A-OK to get our VMAX attacking. It could obviously should be worth noting that Gardevoir V does have some attacks, but we're probably not going to get them. Swelling Pulse does 120 plus 80 if we've healed during this turn, but we are not really going to be healing the V too much, and normally if a V has been attacked, it's going to get knocked out, so that's not that big of a deal. That's pretty much it for our Pokemon. I mean, realistically, it's just those 2. We already lose to Zamazenta, so I'm not playing something to counter it. I already probably lose to the Decidueye, so we're going to try and just deck him out by healing instead. We're not really worried about that. We've got some support Pokemon though. We've got 2 copies of Dedenne, 1 copy of Crobat, and 1 copy of Eldegoss. All very important to get ourselves into our VMAX on turn 1 or 2. We need to find Rotom early, so a couple of the Dedenne and a Crobat, a very good inclusion. We also want to find Pokemon really, really early, so 4 copies of Quick Ball, obviously important. I also have 4 copies of Evo Incense in the deck, but I don't know if this is the right choice. It could be like a 2 copies of Evo Incense and 2 Great Balls, or maybe even 2 Pokemon Communication. I don't think Pokecom is really required, though, with 14 Pokemon. It's not going to make that big of a deal. But the Great Ball could be useful, so it is worth suggesting that maybe that should be cut down. The games that I've played, I managed to get games with Evo Incense at a count of 4, but I would probably cut that down in hindsight. We also have 4 copies of Switch to move in and out of the active, as well as 2 copies of Air Balloon, and this works really, really well with our 2 copies of Mallow and Lana. We are healing every time we're attacking, so if we can get a Mallow and Lana off, that'll be 120, plus the 50 from our Gardevoir VMAX, so 170, which is a pretty solid chunk of damage to be healing, to be fair. And we can also heal an extra 80 with one of our 3 copies of Suspicious Food Tin. It is worth noting, though, that we need to attach another energy to Gardevoir to do this, and if we do choose to do that, then we are going to struggle to get a second Gardevoir powered up. But that might not matter if you can heal, 170 plus 80, 250 damage in a turn. That's a pretty significant chunk, and it means that in really niche situations, we can actually survive 2 hit from an Eternatus VMAX. That's pretty tough to do. We will need 2 copies of Big Charm to get there, make it nice and easy, but like, let's think about it this way. Eternatus, maybe it doesn't hit us for 270, maybe it hits us for 240 or even 210. We can heal off most of that and then survive another attack, and that's probably what we need to do to win that matchup, but that seems very, very tough, to be fair. We also have 1 copy of Reset Stamp. We might get the chance to use it, might not, we'll wait and see, and also 2 copies of Viridian Forest. Now, this card's really important to get energies out of the deck and into the discard pile. I like in the first turn to play down Viridian Forest, discard a Psychic Energy, find another, and then research it or Dedenne it away so that we can get 2 in the bin for energy assist. That is probably the most difficult thing to do with this deck, is to get that energy in the bin quickly. Now, I mentioned we've got research, we've got 4 of those. We have 4 copies of Marnie as well, maximum consistency count, and 2 copies of Boss's Orders. We can take knockouts on benched support Pokemon, so it is worth noting that 3 knockouts on those support Pokemon can be gained. We have 2 bosses and an Eldegoss, so you can theoretically get that to happen, but most of the time you're going to want to try and soak up a hit from whatever is attacking you, hit into that, hopefully knock it out, and then get your last couple of prizes with a boss later. Now, it is worth noting as well that you can take some time healing off Gardevoir with Suspicious Food Tin, because we have 1 copy of Rose in the deck. It's not one that you're going to play often, but you can sometimes get yourself into a position where you've got a second powered Gardevoir with Rose. Maybe you've discarded Rose early, you can use Eldegoss to get it back, and that way you can power up another Gardevoir to continue attacking. But remember, if you do that, you will discard your whole hand, so you need to make sure that you at least you've given yourself a chance to win on the turn after you Rose, because if you haven't done that, then you're going to be top decking and hoping for the best. So just be careful with that one. I like it. I think it's a good option, but it's probably a last resort, I need to attack option rather than anything else. I mentioned the Big Charm, mentioned the Air Balloon. We have 10 copies of Psychic Energy. We want to find as many of these as we possibly can in the early game and still give ourselves an opportunity to find them in the late game. We want to be able to attach one as well to our Rotom. So there's lots there, and I've put in a Weakness Guard Energy. I'm not going to lie to you, this is a bit of a token effort to avoid losing straight away to Zacian and Zamazenta, but frankly, it's going to be tough to beat those decks regardless. They have a lot of output, a lot of damage output, and they're probably not even going to be attacking the Gardevoirs, to be fair. They'll probably attack into some of our bench sitters anyway. So that Weakness Guard Energy could realistically be a Psychic Energy if you're happy to just sacrifice the metal matchup, which to be fair, you probably will. But that's okay. I think this is at the moment the best way to play Gardevoir, but if you have a better list, then please post it down below, because I know that lots of people are interested in playing this card, myself included. I think it's pretty cool. So if you have a deck that's better than this one, please let me know and I will be happy to take a look at it. Comment that one in the description. I will jump across onto the ladder now and see if I can't get some games with this monstrosity, and hopefully we can go second every time. Alrighty, into our first game here. I'm not going to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a few rough showings from Gardevoir. This is not my first rodeo. We've won the coin flip though, which is good. We can go second. This is not an ideal deck at all by any stretch. It's just because it's not capable of streaming attackers together, because it's trying to heal and accelerate at the same time. It makes it very, very awkward. We have seen a Latios from our opponent here, and this could potentially be the first win of the day if everything goes well, because Latios is usually played in a Mewtwo deck. And if I am correct, Mewtwo decks at the moment, either a Welder deck or it's a Psychic one. 2 Psychic Energies there. We could be going up against that Psychic deck that I mentioned before. There is a Rotom, so it looks like that will be the way our opponent approaches this one. He's got Viridian Forest for us, very kind. and looks like he'll be attaching to his Rotom. Now, we're going second, so we have an opportunity to put ourselves in a good position here. You have a good deck, thank you very much. You have a good deck also, sir. I will research. Top decking that Psychic Energy is good. I don't know, though, whether my opponent realizes that I am playing Gardevoir instead of Mewtwo. So I will grab Gardevoir here and play that onto the field. See if that gets any reaction from our opponent. No. We will discard. I think we're just going to have to discard the tin. I think that's probably the best way to go. We got to grab ourselves an energy. I will hold on to the quick ball. I think I don't really need to do anything with it. Let's energy assist. We accelerate 2 energies to our Gardevoir, and we've got the VMAX in hand. The best thing is the VMAX is going to one-shot Mewtwo, even with that Big Charm. So if we find a boss, that'll be great. I don't think that my opponent was anticipating playing against a Gardevoir deck with Rotom in the active. I think he probably would have been going, oh, this is a mirror, we'll see how we go. Energy assist from him now. It's going to be accelerating 2 energies onto the field. Will they both go to that Mewtwo? It looks like they will. I am desperate now to try and find access to Boss's orders. If we get access to Boss, I feel like we pretty much lock out the game real early. I will grab another Gardevoir just in case. And then we can get rid of this Rose, get ourselves an energy, and attach then Dedenne. We are looking for Boss. Can we find Boss's orders? We have. That's really, really good. I think we are probably best off just retreating into our Gardevoir. Let's boss up the Mewtwo here and take a knockout with Max Cure. I wouldn't be surprised if he just concedes here, because that's a pretty dismal performance. Normally, I would try and hold these ones off. Big sad face. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. Normally, I wouldn't show these ones, but since it's the first game that I've won with the deck, yes, a victory, I'm going to put this one in. Alrighty, could we be so lucky to win a second game in a row with Gardevoir? Based on my experience, probably not, but that's okay. We'll see how we go. We have a Rotom and a Gardevoir. Okay, so this is a pretty solid start. This is a pretty solid start for us. We do need to get some Psychic Energies into the bin, though, so we don't want to miss out on those. Playing against Inteleon, so we might have ourselves a chance here. I will Quick Ball, get rid of a Professor's Research. Let's grab a Gardevoir here. I will play that one down. Then, no, I probably should Quick Ball. I'll get rid of the second, or the tin again. Let's grab Crobat, because if we draw into a couple of energies here, we can research them away. That would be fantastic. No. Okay. Well, at least we can research and maybe find ourselves Dedenne. That would be great. No. Okay. Where are our energies? What is going on? We can just get rid of this Rose, I guess. We have to do Dedenne. All of the tins are gone. Everything's gone. Dedenne. Can we find some energies? Now all we find is energies. Okay, so unfortunately, we haven't been able to discard any of them. So it looks like we are just going to retreat into this Crobat and hope for the best. Now, best case scenario for us is our opponent attacks into this Crobat. We can Mallow and Lana and use that to get some energies in the bin. That would be fantastic. Worst case scenario, our opponent just hits into us for like 160, which I don't think is actually possible now that I'm thinking about it, because there was no Snom last turn, so not worried about that so much. I just don't want to have to manually power up a Gardevoir V, because I have seen how games where that happens goes. On the plus side, though, we are playing against Inteleon, and the most damage that it can do is 160 to us, so we could potentially outlast a couple of turns here, especially if we do get to use Mallow and Lana on a Gardevoir. That would be really, really cool. He's got for the Quick Ball here, trying to find probably a Snom. There it is. Snom will come down, and it's either going to be a pass or a switch into an Inteleon or an Inteleon VMAX. 60 damage or something like that. There's a Zigzagoon going to the deck, and an Inteleon from the Pokemon, so looks like we might see an evolution there. Okay, so just a pass. And we top deck another energy. Excellent. Let's just evolve into this VMAX, and we just pass again, I reckon. I reckon that's pretty much it. That's all we really have to do. Now, next turn we get to attack, which is great, but, not ideal. This Crushing Hammer would be actually really bad. Okay, damn. Guys. Alright, so he's going to Hydro Snipe the Crobat, for sure. Okay, so now I can at least Mallow and Lana into the Rotom and accelerate some energy. Now all I'm drawing, I've drawn energy 2 turns in a row. Oh my goodness. Well, to be fair, I went through half my deck and didn't see a single one, so I'm not surprised. Mallow and Lana we will attach to the active, and then energy assist. We can put 2 energy onto that Gardevoir VMAX. And now next turn we can attack with it, which is good. It depends how our opponent goes here, because they may choose to try and put damage with Max Bullet onto Gardevoir VMAX, and that would be really good for us, because we can just heal that straight off. They might not know what the card does. Yes! Oh my goodness! Okay, so that 60 damage is effectively wasted, because we are going to heal that off this turn. I will promote Gardevoir VMAX, and we're going to hit into this. This is another energy in a row. Another energy. Oh my goodness. Okay, Max Cure. So we heal 50 and half hit the VMAX on our opponent's side of the field. We could potentially steal ourselves a victory if we can draw anything other than energy. And I mean, the deck is mostly energy at this point. There's 10 Psychic Energies in this list, and we didn't see them for half of the deck. So we are almost guaranteed to draw into some more. Looks like we're seeing another Inteleon get powered up here. I would love just like a... I don't know if we've got any cans left. I'd love to see like a Mallow and Lana here. That would be so nice. They missed the tail. They get the tails on the Crushing Hammer. Good, 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 good. Okay, so Max Bullet, they'll deal 160, and then they're placing 60 on the benched Gardevoir. Sure. We top deck a boss. Do I gust anything out here? No, I'm going to hold this. I'm just going to take a knockout on the active, because they can't knock us out next turn. We're going to heal 50, we're on 120. The most they can do is 160, which is 280, so they cannot knock us out. We've got the Big Charm as well. We've got a few prizes now also, and a Dedenne. That's really, really good off of the prize cards. So we could potentially be in a spot here. If this Inteleon doesn't evolve, then we have ourselves one good opportunity to get a knockout here. I've got Rose in the discard pile as well. So if we find Eldegoss, we can use Rose. We can potentially use another Mallow and Lana would be good. Just bringing out the Dedenne. So they are going for the... Surely the Max Bullet. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening, so they're just going to hit into this for 60. That's okay. I think we just switch into Gardevoir. Well, let's switch into Crobat, because I'm going to Dedenne, I think. Do I boss something? Because, like, I could boss the Crobat and then boss the Snom next turn, and I don't need to find the VMAX. I think I'm going to try that. This is a risk. I don't need to do this. I think I'm going to do it, just because I don't... Yeah, the second that I did it, I'm not sure that it was the right move. And we didn't find boss, so I get immediately punished. That's okay. That's okay. We will grab our... We'll get our energy from Training Court first. We'll grab our Gardevoir VMAX. We will Max Cure, deal 180 damage. Hopefully we find a boss. Offer the prizes, because that would be fantastic. We've got one prize left to take. I don't know where the last VMAX is, which is why I kind of wanted to find a boss off of Dedenne. We may need to hit into this Inteleon VMAX twice now, but we just got the Mallow and Lana from the prizes, so as long as we don't get reset stamped, we could potentially get ourselves another big heal here. They're going to hit for 160. I'm going to snipe the bench. This is good. This is good. We didn't find the boss off the top, so I don't win instantly, but we Mallow and Lana here. That will reduce the amount of damage on us to 120, which is really good. We can just go into this Crobat V and then retreat into it again. That seems pretty good. I'm going to attach to the active just in case they decide to remove my energy. And now half hit into the VMAX one more time. Heal another 50 damage. There is no way this Inteleon can take, 5 prizes this turn. They might be able to take 4. They can't take 5. We won a second in a row. What is going on? Alright, so we are into a third game now. Since the first one was pretty short, I figured I would give you another one. I'm not going to lie to you, the streak ended. The streak ended. Is this Sham? Are we playing against... Okay, cool. We're playing against Sham. That's Matt. We just stumbled upon him on the ladder. There we go. Excellent news. What might Matt be playing? Eternatus. He's probably playing Eternatus. That's going to be concerning for me. But we have Viridian. It's Mad Party, everyone. It's Mad Party. We can totally win this. Oh my gosh. Okay. We can definitely win this because there's going to be turns where he cannot deal 350 damage. He needs to one-shot us or otherwise we'll heal most of our stuff off. Okay. As long as the deck doesn't fumble, we should be able to win. But I can tell you right now that it will probably fumble and this game won't get into the video. We will see though. This looks like a pretty good start. And a Crobat as well. Well, there's 4 prizes for us to take. Means we only need to take 2. And we could knock out this Sinistea this turn if we want. Sinistea only has 30 HP, so we could potentially knock that out with a magical shot. Although, to be fair, I think it is better to try and get the Rotom here. We do have access to Rotom and 2 energy in the bin, so we would just need to Professor's research into a Psychic Energy, which is, frankly, very likely. It looks like a switch. Might see the Bunnelby in the active. Well, there goes our dreams of knocking out a Sinistea. We are now committed. Let's play down the Viridian Forest. I can discard a Psychic Energy, grab another Psychic Energy. There's 7 in the deck. So that means there's 1 prize. Get rid of another. Find Rotom. We will switch into Rotom. And then we will research. We need to find a Psychic Energy, please. Give me 1 Psychic Energy off of these cards. Good grief, Charlie Brown. Okay, well, Big Charm. We will Quick Ball. Let's grab a Dedenne, I guess. We've got there's no Dedenne. There's no Dedenne. There's no Dedenne. Why is this happening? We've got a good matchup. Crobat, please give me a Psychic Energy. Yes! Yes! Okay, cool. So, Energy Assist. We can accelerate 2 energy to the Gardevoir. Whew. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. We almost missed that. That was concerning. If we had have found the Dedenne though, we would have discarded 2 Gardevoir VMAXs, which would have been very, very rough. Very hard to come back from that. But we've at least got attackers that could have dealt with the little babies on Matt's side of the field. Grabbing a Poltergeist now, so start to see Mad Party pick up the pace. He needs to have 4 Mad Parties in the bin to knock out this Rotom. I suspect that's going to be relatively easy. Oh boy. Oh god, it has been a long day. I really hope that this game is good, so that I can stop playing this deck. If you've watched this far, I have had a roller coaster of emotions today playing Gardevoir. Like, it is... Sometimes I want to show you the games that don't go well. Like, that really don't go well. The ones where the deck just goes absolute kaput on itself and just cannot do anything. They are not entertaining at all to watch gameplay-wise, but I imagine they're probably pretty entertaining to watch from the perspective of a viewer watching me slowly disappear into insanity. There's the knockout. They had the 4, so we've got Gardevoir. We've got an energy in the hand now, thanks to that top deck. That's perfect. We can Marnie as well. We are well on the way here to getting ourselves our first knockout. And finding Boss is pretty good too. That means we could potentially get a knockout for 2 prizes next turn, which I don't mind. We will probably discard this Rotom. Grab ourselves another energy. This way we can start attaching them to the active to try and utilize that Tin Can. Tin Can Psychic Man. There's one of our Dedennes, so we've got ourselves a little bit of an opportunity now. Looking good. We were 1 in 3 chance of finding Dedenne since there were 2 in the prizes, so I would have been frankly disappointed if we didn't get one. And as long as we don't get hit for like 200 damage this turn, which frankly is not that likely, we really could be in a good position to ride out this game. This is where Gardevoir VMAX really shines in this half-hit kind of format. When people are looking for exact maths, or like that Inteleon game that we had earlier where they were doing 160, normally that would be really upsetting because they would be able to two-hit us. But since we've got Gardevoir curing every turn, they can't get that two-hit, which is really, really good. And this is why I think this deck could potentially be good in the future. Like, I'm not saying it's good now, because it's not, but if we had some psychic energy kind of recursion or acceleration, something that was consistent, like if Malamar comes back, then Gardevoir VMAX could be a decent option if the format does go towards like that two-hitting weakness-based format, which I think in reality it might very easily do. So this is one of those ones that I'm kind of expecting to see when we see the what is it that I'm looking for? Let's just start playing. We'll attach this psychic energy. I want to get the Tin Can Psychic Man, please. I will gust out the Dedenne. I'm going to take that knockout, and I will Dedenne myself. Let's find a can. Yeah, alright. And we've got another Gardevoir. This is perfect. So we will play down that. We might play down the Rotom as well, just in case something goes horribly wrong. We will heal 80 damage, and then we're going to be able to max cure, so that will reduce the amount of damage on us down to 50. So we just healed 130 for effectively no cost, and that means that Matt now is going to need, I think, is it 200 damage? 300 damage, because we've got the Big Charm. So 300 damage means he's going to need a lot of Mad Parties in the discard pile to get a knockout. I do not think it is possible. Anyway, I was in the middle of a train of thought. What was I saying? Yes, when Sword and Shield onwards happen, so like August of next year, like in an exactly 12 months' time, and we go towards a format where everything's kind of like VMAXs half hitting into each other, we could realistically see this card come good. Because Gardevoir VMAX just has something, there's something about it. It feels like a card that could be, should be good. I just, that, you know what I mean? There's something about it. At the moment, it's not. At the moment, it is very lackluster. But there's just something about it. I don't know what it is. Something about it that just makes me feel good. I just want to make sure that there's no supporter-based acceleration for Psychic. I just want Malamar. Really? I just want Malamar? I just want to use this in a Malamar deck. There's a part of me that just wants to jump onto Expanded and just go, can I play this Malamar, please? I'll play with this in the Malamar deck. Like this video if you want to see me play Gardevoir and Expanded with Malamar. There you go. 100 and... No, if this video gets 100 likes, I will make a video on Malamar Gardevoir in Expanded, and I will win one game with it. And that is it. If this video doesn't get 100 likes, I will probably do that still, but just do it for fun. So, you know, it's up to you. You get to choose. You are the captain of the ship, as it were. It looks like we are about to lose a Gardevoir V here. I'm not going to bother doing the maths and checking the numbers because it is not unlikely that Matt has 11 Pokemon here. Here comes the Bundle Beast, so I'll probably see a Mad Party for a knockout here. We survived. Okay. And we top decked a switch. Not that we really need it. I think Malawalana's the better option here. I just don't want to get, like, Zigzagooned or something silly. We'll get rid of the Weak Guard Energy and the switch. We'll heal that bad boy up. Then we will grab another Gardevoir VMAX. Although, to be fair, I don't want to play that down just yet because I want to leave myself the option to take knockouts with the V. I will knock out the Bunnelby. That is a fully healed Gardevoir VMAX now. We find the second Dedenne off of the prizes as well. So now I feel like we are about to win this game. We've got 21 cards left in deck. We can Dedenne and go looking for a boss. There's one boss left. We may need to Eldegoss for it, which would be unfortunate because if we Dedenne, we don't have room. So unless there is a knockout on something else, we might be in a bit of strife here for that. But then again, it's not likely that Matt wins the game. To get 5 prizes, he would need to have 15. No. 17. No, more. 18 man parties for 350 damage? I think. 18, so that's all of them. You need every single man partier in the bin, which would mean that there's no attacker. So I think it is physically impossible for him to get a knockout on this VMAX. Looks like he's gusting up the Dedenne here, so he might be losing a couple of prizes now. A research coming through as well. 3 cards left in deck. We could even win by a deck out, to be fair. T-Break. Discards a Bunnelby. I think we're going to do it. I think him missing that V knockout is going to give us a chance. Even if we do miss, boss, this is going to give us a chance. He's missing by 10. That's very disappointing for him. We will be able to promote the Gardevoir here. The best thing about that the Dedenne knockout is that we can now Dedenne and look for Eldegoss boss. Or we could just top deck it and win the game. The gods wanted me to stop playing Gardevoir. I did it. I won a few games. It's a video. I made a video, everyone. A video on Gardevoir. It's over. It's finally over. It's done. I can stop and go about the rest of my life. It has literally taken me 12 hours to make this video. There was so many moments where I felt like giving up. I just feel like I have to thank you all for being here with me through this ordeal. This massive, massive ordeal. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please consider giving the video a like. At some point, there was a like goal. I can't remember what it was. Just click the like button. That would be great. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm gonna go and take a lie down because I'm cooked. This has been a big day. I've got some games coming up as well in the next couple of days in the Omnipoke Online Play League. So jump on board for that. I'm playing Little Dark Fury, who's obviously doing similar stuff to us at the moment in the sense that making bad cards work. So if you want to jump over and check out his channel, that would be greatly appreciated. You're probably already following it. I mean, you know who Little Dark Fury is, don't you? You probably watch him. You probably found him, and then I'm gonna stop. I'm embarrassing myself. Goodbye.